This deck won $10,000 at the most recent Pro Tour Aetherdrift by coming in 8th place. It's called Jeskai Oculus' deck by Kenta Haran. And this deck is trying to attack the standard format from a different angle by using the graveyard, trying to mill over an Abhorrent Oculus or Steam's Core Scholar and reanimate them with Helping Hand or Recommission and start beating your opponent that way. And also, the Delirium plan is also a graveyard-centric way to get more damage in quickly. Everything in this deck is cheap. You have ways to bounce creatures, counter spells. Torch Tower is one of the best removal spells in the format, especially against aggro. Especially against those mice. The Exile Clause is huge there against Heartfire Hero. Prophet's Eidetic Memory. You notice Bitter Union can draw you cards. Steam Core Scholar draws you cards. Inti. Exile is the top card of your library. Doesn't quite draw you cards, but the Prophet's Eidetic Memory can put +1/+1 counters when you draw those cards, either from the Steam Core Scholar, or the Bitter Union, or the Fear of Missing Out, and really can grow some of these creatures to a pretty big way. And also, it draws on its entrance as well. So, a good way to pump your creatures. And this deck is really just trying to get in quick, fast, reanimate an Abhorrent Oculus, and kill your opponent before they really know what's going on or can fight against really one of the more powerful 3-mana spells in the format, which is usually gate capped by this. As an additional cost to cast this spell, exile 6 cards from your graveyard clause. It's a 3-mana 5/5 flyer. At the beginning of each opponent's upkeep, you manifest Dread, which is super powerful. So getting this card onto the battlefield without having to pay that 6 cards in your graveyard cost is the whole purpose of the deck, and can lead to some blowout games. I'm excited to show you it. Let's get to it on the ladder. Okay, so this hand is missing an Oculus, one of those big boom booms to reanimate, but we can Thundering Falls to surveil. Inti can help us discard the second copy of itself. I think this is the keep. And again, we don't really have removal either, so we will see how it goes. Opponent plays a Plains. Let's see if we can get an Oculus with this one. Helping Hand. Probably don't need one of those. Our opponent does definitely know what we're doing now, though, when you mill the Helping Hand. 2 mana, let's see, Collector's Cage. This is the +1/+1 counter, probably a Gearhold deck, but they let on both planes, so maybe they don't have green? Not sure. Certainly we're going to play this Inti. Next turn, start getting +1/+1 counters on it while discarding a card, and then exiling the top card of our library. As long as it lives, Inti's could definitely not be long for this world. If the second one next turn with Spell Pierce backup, if that's what's going to go on. Arebo, the First Fang. It's a cat deck. Interesting. Okay. I think we just want to shoot that cat down. Don't need to bargain it, just need to deal 2 damage to it, exile it. I think we're pretty safe to discard this Inti since we have this recommission to get 1 back in the future. Another Inti, though, is unfortunate. Not sure if they'll block. Doesn't seem likely. Now we have this Spell Pierce. Basically just discarded an Inti for a +1/+1 counter. They're not tremendous value. I wonder what they could have here. Probably a lot of creatures. It seems, if you're a cat-based deck, you're probably going to be running a lot more creatures than you would be, especially with this Collector's Cage, than any Wraths or anything. Should have a removal spell, you'd think, at some point for this Inti. And this is just a complete cat deck, a Savannah Lions. If you haven't seen this, this is one of the OG original 2/1 cards of the game. 1 mana, 2/1. That's it. But it's a cat, so it has these other synergies, and you can grow it with your Collector's Cage. Opponent's going to do a good job here of really growing their creatures, and we don't have a way around. We don't really have a way around this. I think we're going to start looting with this Steam Core Scholar. Spell Pierce doesn't seem to be that great, but we can keep it up. So maybe we discard the Recommission. We'll see what happens when we draw. A second Spell Pierce we'd certainly discard. Yeah, I think we can ditch the recommission. And that's the nice part about that is now we can exile so we hit a land here. It would be nice. Abhorrent Oculus. Would have been nice for that to be in a graveyard, but that's okay. I don't know if we want to discard. I think we will attack. Actually, I think we don't want to attack here. Yeah, because I'm pretty sure our opponent's going to block. And attacking here with no red mana up is a pretty clear signal to our opponent, since we, I think the whole reason to play this deck for your opponent, you're going to surmise that we're doing it for Torch the Towers and Inties, so a lot of our removal package is going to flow through the red side of our deck. They also could have just blocked and drawn too, but that would not have really been a bad outcome for us. But I think you can surmise that we're going to be playing removal spells, so if we have a red mana open when we attack, I think it presents a more believable bluff. Okay, Regal Caracal. The opponent is all in on the cats. They are showing us how it's done. Helping hand here. Just get this FOMO down. See what we have rolling. Discard. Probably there's a Bitter Reunion. Yeah. Fine with discarding the Bitter Reunion there, and we can get back to Helping Hands. Doesn't help us here though, just the Inti in the graveyard. But this Prosthetic Memory can help us grow. This Steam Core Scholar. In the air is a 4/4. Discard a card. Yeah, I think we I don't know if we're getting much value out of the Spell Pierce here. So we're just gonna ditch it to draw and put another counter on our Steam Core. 5/5 here is not bad. Opponent should be able to activate their Collector's Cage. Whew. Alright, that is something. And they have this Collector's Cage up. Wow. If that's another Regal Caracal, oof, we are hurting. Let's see what it is. Virtue, also pretty good. Our opponent going wide here. Definitely not the type of deck I was expecting to see. Cool though that people are running this on the ladder. I know we're at gold, but still cool. I'll block with the Steam Core all day on most of these. Not the Savannah Line. Savannah Line should probably get in. Lifelink here though is troubling. Yeah, I don't think we can block. So, pretty sure we have to try to kill our opponent this turn, and that's going to involve a fear of missing out. Yeah, it's definitely going to involve a fear of missing out on the Steam Core Scholar. The problem is they're going to be able to eat something with lifelink. Yeah, I think if I attack with this fear of missing out, we just lose, but I can't do it otherwise. So I just have to hope they mess up, probably. Yeah, that's what I'm going for. Hoping my opponent messes up here on the blocks. Recommission, man. Okay, let's try this fear of missing out. Or this add a card waste, I suppose. Could give everything haste. Gives us a second attack. Okay. It's really our only chance. I think we're dead though, since we have to attack with these as well. I mean, untapping things doesn't really matter. Discarding for an extra counter definitely does matter, though. Could matter. think our opponent is going to beat us by a bajillion here. Okay. Well, that's going to put our opponent up to 16, but we're going to get 2 extra combats and a bunch more triggers here. So I think actually we're going to be doing pretty well. And give me another combat here. And, I mean, that's part of the beauty of the deck. I mean, that was pretty good. I mean, we just dealt an abnormally large amount with the fear of missing out and the bitter reunion. You saw the deck at work there. GG's. Alrighty, looking at this next hand here. I think this is a pretty good keep. It's, you know, lacking blue mana. So that is definitely a problem, but we're don't have any blue cards, so we'll see how it goes. And to kind of comment on the last game, our opponent definitely should have blocked with all of their life-leaking creatures to gain as much life as they could, but we played to our out of you know, attacking with the 2 fear missing outs and hoping they don't just quadruple block everything, you know, sensibly. And you know, we won the game that way, which is pretty cool. So always play to your out. It looks like we were kind of dead on board if our opponent made the right decision, but they unfortunately did not. So for them, at least, fortunately for us. So you know, there's always a reason to play to your outs in that instance. Okay, so our opponent, you know, is probably playing the Domain Overlord's deck. Didn't have a turn 3 Overlord, but they do have the turn 2 Beanstalk, Lush Portico. Can't cast in Leyline Binding, but can cast the Rush Exile tapped creature card. You know, and for that reason, I think I'm just going to attack and not discard. And play this Bitter Reunion, discard one of these Steam Core Scholars, see if I can't get a blue mana up in this. There we go. It is tap blue mana. That's okay. Probably should have played my land drops differently there. That was definitely on me. Opponent didn't really even seem to have a stick here though, so they probably didn't have the Ride Down or whatever that card is called. They probably do though have Ride's End is what it's called. They probably do though have Leyline Binding, so we have to be careful of that. Could recommission the Scholar. Yeah, let's attack with the Inti, discard this Spyglass Siren. To the Flood Maw, that's fine. Let's get a recommission here for this Steam Core Scholar. Get rid of a creature with flying. Probably. And it was somebody. Yeah, I think we have to. We just don't have enough blue sources here. Important Oculus not in the graveyard, unfortunately. Another exile with Inti. Opponent. Haven't seen a lot. Could just be a Wrath. Could also be an Overlord of the Mistmoor here. Guess that was their second green as well. Could be an Overlord of the Hauntwoods as well. We'll see what they have. Opponent definitely should have something pretty good going on. It was a Day of Judgment. Okay, see your creatures. Now we try to rebuild with this Inti. And maybe a Bitter Reunion again. Discard Spyglass Siren again. Torch the tower. Can't do anything there. Haven't hit too much value off the Inti with our other discard effects. Are we playing an Overlord? Definitely possible. A big Overlord. Up the Beanstalk, okay. Now could be managed with an Overlord of the Mistmoor. That would be pretty good for our opponents. Beza. Draw a card and gain life. That's pretty good. Let's see what's going on with this Steam Core Scholar. Discard Spyglass Siren since it is a creature with flying. We have a Horn Oculus, which we can cast, so I think we're going to. I think we want to leave the ENT to reanimate in the future. Actually, we probably want to leave the Steam Core Skull. Alright, we'll do it like this. We won't attack. We will manifest Dread, though. Okay, they have a Leyline Binding, which means they probably don't have a land here. Or not a land, but a Wrath. They either have a Leyline Binding or a Ride's End. Leyline Binding, okay. That's certainly going to go on our Abhorrent Oculus. And this is sort of the end game you're trying to avoid against this deck. You're trying to get a turn 1 or turn 2 Oculus and then have your spell pierce up in order to avoid this fate. Now, we weren't able to conjure that, and if we had known what our opponent was playing, we probably would have kept a different hand or mulliganed that first hand. That's the beauty about Magic, you don't know. You could get anything. Magic's like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. 4-5 here still. FOMO. Yeah, let's FOMO. Don't need to see Chrome Coast. Shouldn't have any counter spells. They definitely have some sort of removal spell here. Oculus again. Interesting. Helping Hands. I can't get this other Oculus into the graveyard, unfortunately. Unless we attack with this Inti and then get the Beza off the battlefield with the Torch the Tower. I think is the plan. Attack with everybody. Discard the Abhorrent Oculus. Put the +1/+1 counter on the Steam Core Scholar. Anywhere they block, we're definitely going to bargain this Torch the Tower. Spell Pierce definitely interesting here. Ride's End, sure thing. Okay. Do they block the 2/2? Is the real question. We're gonna wait till damage is done. Bargain. Damage here. Sack this. Don't need that. Helping Hand this Oculus back. Play the Siren, might as well. Oh, yeah, that was bad. Because now this Spell Pierce can not be used. Unlikely we were going to be able to use it anyway, but you never know. See if they have another Leyline Binding. The fact that they have a stop here but didn't use it indicates a sweeper here, and I think a sweeper here would draw a concession from us. Beanstalk, sure. That would make sense if you're playing a sweeper or you're looking for a sweeper Sunfall here. And I don't think we could beat that. Spell Pierce here would have been good, but I think they would not have played this Beanstalk had that been the case. So I think we would have been SOL either way. GG's though. Opponent, you know, took advantage of the fact that we had a slow start and got the victory. Hopefully, if we get that matchup again, we can have a little faster start. GG's. Alrighty, we're going first here. We have a pretty solid hand. We're just missing a reanimation spell. We have the discard. I think we can keep this and try to get to some sort of reanimation. Turn 2 Inti. Hopefully draw a helping hand off of it. We'll see. Opponent, blue-black, Strategist Talent. Probably this town ain't big enough deck. Ooh, there we go. It's a pretty good draw there. Now we can Inti into Abhorrent Oculus, discard into Helping Hand, bring it back. Opponent probably has a removal spell for it, but that wouldn't be bad. If our opponent just kills the Inti here, I think we play the Steam Core Scholar and discard the creature with flying that is the Abhorrent Oculus. Yeah, they're Storm Chaser's Talent. It's not bad. I'm not blocking if they attack, no chance, so they should attack here. I think they understand that it's a free attack. Okay, now they have a removal spell from ANT, cut down coming. We wanted to see if they could get a free block. That'll, you know, that also makes sense. Team Core Scholar coming in. See you later, Abhorrent Oculus. So next turn can be a Inti plus Oculus turn. Not too shabby. Oculus via the Helping Hand, of course. It'll enter tapped, but, you know, you get that Manifest Dread going. Yeah, this is we're at a point where I don't think we need this Shivan Reef. Although, it's actually probably not that bad. Steam Core Scholar probably draws us a card here. I think we're fine to ditch Shivan Reef. Getting no blocks from me. No second cut down. Okay, let's start out with this Helping Hand. See if our opponent has a hard counter for it. Very nice. Let's see if they have a removal check for the Oculus. They have something here. Blood Pit's Drowner. Sure. Tap down the Scholar. Okay. So we probably want to... Question is, their opponent just going to go try to hyper aggro kill us here with some sort of flurry of spells, a couple hopeless nightmares. I think we're just going to use this spawn here to block the Flood Pit's Drowner guy. So I think, yeah, we're fine to just kill a 1/1 here. Manifest some Dread. Yeah, we'll get the Spyglass Siren. I think we're just, you know, pretty happy to block this Flood Pit's Drowner. You know, they could return an instant or sorcery spell. They could get a cut down back. Fear of Isolation gets the Nightmare back. Yep. I think we'd block the 1/1 here. That turns into a 2/2 with the Hopeless Nightmare if they don't play a land pre-combat. If they do, I think we're playing this, blocking the Flood Pit's Drowner. We're fine without this Prophet's Eidetic Memory. Yep, definitely are blocking the 2/2 here. Yeah, definitely better as a 2/2. Oculus with the ability to cast it. Yep. Keep this Inti in the graveyard for a future reanimation spell. Get in there. Alright, now we're going to Manifest Dread twice here. One's going to have to try to chug through this. Recommission the graveyard. Sure thing. Definitely would rather have a FOMO. So now we have land, and so we have sorcery creature in the graveyard. Yeah, we're blocking here. They really thought we wouldn't block? I don't know. Definitely taking the double block there. We want to kill that Flood Pit's Drowner. That is the power of the Abhorrent Oculus in the reanimation package. Is you could just overwhelm your opponents with that 5/5 beater and free Manifest Dreading. That's the idea of the deck. GG's. Okay, going first here. Looking just to be missing white mana in this hand. I think we might be able to get there with this Fear of Missing Out, though, so we'll keep this. Also have a Prophet's Eidetic Memory. I think we'll discard with a Helping Hand with a Fear of Missing Out. It's kind of also the benefit of having both. That's a good draw, though. Definitely going to play the FOMO. Still think we don't need second Helping Hands. Spar Bluff Canal. Not sure if it's better than Helping Hand, but next turn we're going to get this Steam Core Scholar down. I think we'll attack first. Let's just make our opponent decide if they want to remove it first. Tranquil Cove is interesting. The life gain land. Could this be a life gain deck or just a budget deck? See if they have a counter spell. I'm not willing to use a counter spell here. Yeah, I think we're going to discard the recommission. Now we can have the Prophet's Eidetic Memory here. Start pumping our creatures up. Didn't play anything. Probably has a removal spell. Maybe an Elspeth Smite. I think would make sense there. Okay, I'm tabbing our opponent to have a Wrath next turn. This would make sense. See what they discard. Probably a land here, if I had to guess. Jace, the Perfected Mind. Hardcore control deck. Let's see what we got with this Eidetic Memory. Yikes, another land. Definitely not ideal. Put the +1/+1 here. Attack for 5. Flooding out for sure. Not what you like to see. Probably a Day of Judgment here, unless this is a Sunfall deck. Just Day of Judgment, yep. That's what I expect. That's why we have a helping hand, though, to get back this Steam Core Scholar. Definitely want to discard lands. And then we could play a second one. Or we could play this Inti. Probably force him to have another discard spell. Not discard. I don't know why I said discard. I was thinking discard with the Inti. Another Wrath. See if they do. Definitely possible. Maybe even plausible. They have another Wrath. We have another Steam Core Scholar we could use to get in there. Okay, definitely a budget mana base. Okay, no Wrath. Okay, Steam Core Scholar. If we draw a second land here, we might discard it. Except for now we need the land for the Abhorrent Oculus. Don't want that land. Oh yeah, let's put it on this Inti. We can ditch the Seachrome Coast. Not a lot of value here. It's just better as a card off the top of our deck. Maybe it's another Oculus or something else we cast instead. FOMO. Might cast the FOMO. Do I want the Inti on top? I think I do. I will play the FOMO. Get rid of this Prophet's Eidetic Memory, draw the Inti. Now we have a way to go fast. They have a Hornlock Whale. Just gonna stock up here though. Already played a land, so they can't land Day of Judgment. Play second stock up. Probably should keep some sort of removal spell up because they know they can die at any point. Okay, FOMO and Eidetic Memory under there. Okay, let's get an Inti rolling. Attack here, discard the Sundering Falls. Torch the tower. Not doing much, let's get an Horn Oculus. Really see if they have a Wrath coming. Leave as many creatures as we can in there. Yeah, can't play that. Manifest Dread. See, they have a Wrath. They've been searching. Put that to the bottom. Day of Judgment, okay. Spyglass Siren. Pretty low on material now. Gonna need to draw pretty well to get out of this. Don't think we can keep Bitter Reunion just simply because we don't have another card in hand. Otherwise, it would have been pretty good if we had a land in hand. Overlord. Yeah, don't think I can beat that. Pretty good. Pretty good from our opponent here. Yeah. Well played. GG's opponent. I think that's good enough for a concession. I almost got there. We had some chances. Maybe we could have played that slightly differently, but Yeah, second Wrath Goddess. GG's. Okay, opponent kept a hand of 7. We have a pretty solid hand here. Both our colors just need a way to discard. And I think we can get there. We have a lot of those type of cards in our deck. If not, we do have the Steam Core Scholar. If we get to the third land, discard, and then have an Oculus on turn 4. Ooh, recommission. Help us out later in the game. Not necessarily that good right now. I think we will play this Prophet's Eidetic Memory, though, next turn. Unless we draw like a FOMO or something. Emberheart Challenger. Okay. Helping Hands. Not that much of a helping hand right now. You know, there's definitely an argument to play the Thundering Falls and then just be ready to Steam Core Scholar next turn. Because now our turn is going to be not really taking up by too much. Untap land here probably, or a bounce spell. Optimistic Scavenger, sure thing. Did hit the untapped land. Let's get this Scholar rolling. Two lands, huh? Okay, we can ditch both of those. Made us a 4/4. It's a nice little benefit there. The question is, are we going to block? Bold Mouse. Certainly feel like we should block now. We would trade with Scholar if they don't put anything else on it. Scholar for Challenger, which I am 100% fine with. I think they put this here to give me to not block here. This will still give me 2 damage, but I should be able to trade here unless they have something. Okay, that works too. Puts me down to 3. FOMO. Get this Steam Core Scholar back. Definitely should discard one of these creatures with flying. Probably this Oculus. I think I want to get this recommission back. And another white mana here would have been ideal. Yeah, definitely need a recommission here. We're going to make one gigantic creature, but I don't think it's quite going to be enough. We're going to block. Oh, yeah, all day. This doesn't have trample. This does, though. Can't give this that, though. Let's see. Sheltered by Ghost. Yep, that's enough. GG's. Alrighty, going first here. Pretty solid hand. Let's roll with this one. Spyglass Siren turn 1. Gets us on the board. Gets us doing something. FOMO turn 2. Or we could Inti turn 2. Actually, I think I want a Prophet's Eidetic Memory turn 2. Let's get this Siren going, baby. 2/2. Stonks. Stonks on this one. Alright, blue-black. Some sort of blue-black. Probably mid-range deck. Steam Core Scholar, 3 lands. I think we'll keep. That means we're playing this Fear of Missing Out this turn, I believe. I think we're trying to get this Oculus into the graveyard. Siren again. And if they have to use a removal spell on the Siren, that is beautiful, especially if it's a Go for the Throat or something big. Like a big boy removal spell on it. We will see. Sheldred's Edict. Okay, FOMO, you can beat Bin. Get some damage in here, put the pressure on him. Opponent taking some heat from a lovely Spyglass Siren. Steam Core Scholar coming in next turn to deliver some more heats. See what we got. Okay, that's good that the trigger resolves here. Seachrome Coast. Pretty good. Just get discard 1 Oculus. Put the counters here. Let's see that big removal spell. That's right, go for the throat on a Spyglass Siren. You know you've won in life when your opponent's doing those shenanigans. Okay, let's see what their turn 4 is going to consist of. Got this 2/2 Vigilance chilling on the board. Got Inti and FOMO as well. Bounce off if they play like Sheltered or something. This Oculus, we only have 4 cards in the graveyard. Can't quite get to Oculus right now. Have this map token as well. I think we'd start off with a FOMO though. Helping Hand, Recommission, those things would be welcome. Opponent might be deciding what we're doing. They clearly know we're the Recommissioned Abhorrent Oculus deck, but the red, they've only seen FOMO. Maybe they're not sure what else is going on. Jace. Okay, some sort of mill deck. Could plus on my Steam Core Scholar. That would make a lot of sense. But they decide not to.
I will clear.
Okay, any one draw is going to kill Jace here. And then I can play Bitter Reunion. Might as well play it first if I'm going to do that. I'm getting rid of this bounce off. Recommission there, huh? Count me in. This is some sort of mill deck. I need to do as much as I can to eliminate my opponent right now, so let's get as much in the battlefield as we can. This is 12 power currently, and we should be able to get the FOMO in the Inti, maybe get to a lethal 15. Oh, they do have Deadly Cover-Up. I was not sure they were going to have a Wrath in their deck. They do have Deadly Cover-Up, though. And they took my Oculuses, too. That's pretty good. I have one in hand, obviously. That is going to hurt. And they should take the Oculus. I don't really know what else they would be doing if they're not taking the Oculus. Deadly Cover-Up, pretty good against this deck. I mean, this deck is all in on Oculus, so if you can take that specific threat away, I think it really changes it. And that's why you play a card like Deadly Cover-Up, because it's so good against cards, decks that are leaning, hyper on one specific creature. Okay, so we have this Battlefield Forge. Before we go Inti, FOMO, and Bitter Reunion. Guess I should have FOMO'd first. Yeah, that's just the correct sequence there is to FOMO first. Prophet's Eidetic Memory. Okay, let's get rolling here. We have a second Inti, so that's fine to do it here. Yep, don't need an extra lands. Another FOMO, that's fine. Let's untap. Discard the Inti. Nope, we're fine. Yeah, I probably should have untapped the Inti there. I think I made the wrong mistake there. Yeah, you want to untap the ET there so you can get a couple more damage in. Well, it would have been at 1 life. Or no, that would have been at 3 life, I think. Because they were at 9. Yeah, they would have taken an extra couple damage in 4 life. Okay, so worth 2 more damage. All right, let's try to get this map rolling here. Three steps ahead. Draw discard here. Opponent is hurting for answers. They can't find it. GG's. Even after the deadly cover-up, fear of missing out plus the haste from Bitter Reunion gets it done. GG's. Let's head to the wrap-up. And we're back with the deck that won 10 smackaroonies, $10,000 at the most recent Pro Tour from Pro Tour Aetherdrift in Chicago. The deck is pretty explosive. I mean, we have some turns where you can win out of seemingly nowhere with the Bitter Reunion. Abhorrent Oculus is certainly a powerhouse of a card. If it resolves, the opponent doesn't have a Wrath. Probably game over, let's be honest. And the fear of missing out was excellent when we needed it to be, taking multiple combats, winning us a game against Cats, winning us that last game against Blue-Black Control. We did flood out a few times. This deck has this 22 land, so it's a little tough to be in a spot where you flood out, but you have so many cheap spells, you kind of run out of things to do at some point. Not a ton of extra get in your hand card draw, not a lot of flood insurance, not like mana sinks, for instance, not a lot of that going on, but cool deck. You clearly see that it's powerful, has some busted draws. I think it does lend itself, this build, to be more of a best of 3 deck. Clearly this is a best of 3 Pro Tour deck. It was built for that. I think you would make some tweaks to this deck to make it a little more best of 1 friendly. Maybe go to the Storm Chasers talent package and try to kind of mesh that power aspect of the deck into it as well, and just try to get as much raw power into the best of 1 deck as you can. Or lean the other way and go, say, hey, I'm not going to lose to Wraths, and play more Spell Pierces, less bounce. You could. It just depends on what you want to target. This deck, if you're on the draw against mono red, you better have Torch Tower or you're dead. So you could increase bounce off into the Flood Maw. You could increase those type of things into the Flood Maw. Is pretty good. You can pretty evergreen answer if you find yourself losing to a lot of different permanents like Domain, random Overlord here, or red creature there, or whatever have you. Planeswalkers here and there. Into the Floodmaw can get anything out of the way. Artifacts. So really, this deck is very tunable, I guess, is the main outcome. Whatever you seem to be losing to the most, you can tune this deck in a way to beat that, I'm pretty sure. But the base power structure of the deck with the Helping Hand, Recommission, Abhorrent Oculus is very powerful. And using the red cards to fill out the shell, I think, is a must in this standard. And it gives you a bit of added resiliency and power boost. Torso Tower, excellent removal spell, especially in this standard. Best of 1 standard format. And really cool deck. I want to hesitate saying that the deck could get you to Mythic, but it could, in the right hands, win you a lot of games. So, if you have these cards, go make this deck and play it out. You'll have a good time. Until next time, wherever you are, whenever you are, have a magical day.